Hello everybody. Today in today's segment we are going to be talking about the club's plane or the swing plane. You see this on television today. The telecasters will be saying, oh, look how nice he or she is on plane. You'll read in magazines golf instructors trying to help you how to stay on plane and what it means for your golf swing. This might lead to some confusion, so I'm going to clarify all the parts of the plane. I'm going to define it first. Second, I'm also going to show you why it's important and how it can help your golf swing. And thirdly, I'm going to show you how to stay on plane and drills in order to do that. Okay, now to define it. The plane is a flat, tilted incline that's inflexible, meaning that the line of it stays in the same relationship that it was when it started. Also, the club shaft's plane is established when a properly soled golf club, meaning that the leading edge is not in the air, nor the trailing edge is in the air. They're both flat soled on the ground. When this occurs, this establishes a line from the hosel, runs through the shaft, and meets at some point on the body. For instance, this club is running approximately through my belt line. Now what this shows is that this gives the club and the golf swing its circular shape, because this club head moves backward, upward, and inward three-dimensionally and simultaneously, which, as you can see, gives the golf swing its circular motion. Now the last part I want to show you about defining the plane is it has two parts. It has a line, which is demonstrated by this line here, and it has an angle, which you can see is angled into the ground, which is shown by this line. This line here, the base of the plane, is fixed, but this angle can change, which allows people to move to a flatter plane or a higher plane, but yet still stay tracing this base. Treat these two parts as this. The angled portion is the roof of a house, and the plane line is its gutter. This line, like I said, stays fixed, but the angle of it can stay the same. Now, why is this plane so important and talked about in golf instruction? First off, its interaction, as I told you, this plane controls the club head motion, or the path it takes coming into the ball. This, in relation to where the face is pointed, will give you the golf ball's curvature. So this is important for accuracy. Also, the more efficiently you can do this motion, the longer this club stays on plane, allows you to deliver power more efficiently to the golf ball. So being on plane is absolutely essential to playing good golf. It's both distance and direction. Now, you're like, okay, this is great. Now how am I supposed to do this? Well, as I said before, that when you set your golf club up, in order to stay on plane, the edge of this hosel, or the furthest extension of the golf club, always points to that fixed line. Now, as I do this, you'll see that this end of the club shaft is still pointing to the line as I move it up. Now, the club head, I have to clarify this, the club head is not moving straight. It's moving in an arc. But you're pointing to a straight line. You can see I'm pointing to this straight line, but you can clearly see how far inside that club head is of that line. As I keep moving up and tracing this line, the club will eventually reach parallel, which will be somewhere around the hips or somewhere on the hands, as you can see here. At this point, you'll notice that it's parallel and inside of this line. Now, when the club shaft is parallel, like I said, will be inside the line, but when it's anything but parallel, the furthest extension of it will point to it. So now from this point, the butt end is the furthest point, which will again point to this line as it moves all the way up. And then if you get to parallel again, you'll see that it is inside the plane line. Next, coming down, the butt end will retrace until you reach parallel again. Then as you come down, the front end of the hosel will trace again all the way through on this side until it reaches parallel, and then onward and upward again. Now, a few drills to do this. You can take a golf club just like this and set these lines down, as I'll take this one out for you. And if I lined it up and make a bigger extension of it, I'm just going to point until this reaches parallel. Then I'm going to take the butt end and point back to it again, then back down till it's parallel, retrace, back on this side again. Now this is fine with a club, but if you want to be more accurate with it, you can use two things. You can use a laser, or you can use a common household item, which is a flashlight. Take the flashlight in both hands, like you would take your golf grip, set this line up again, and then point the flashlight to the line, except when it's parallel. Then flip the flashlight around, so now that the flashlight would be exemplifying the butt end of the club. Take that, retrace the line, bring it back down again till it's parallel, flip it back around, retrace, go on up again. I hope with all this, the definition of it, why it's important, and a couple short drills on how to stay on plane helps you the next time you're out on the golf course. Remember these three parts, guaranteed you'll stay on plane.